College football fans across America have been looking for this day for 9 long months, and a lot of excitement here in the stadium down the field level. A lot of new things here at Utah State University, new field turf, new uniforms. Aggies are rocking those new Nike Combat uniforms. Southern Utah's got a tough test tonight. We should have a good game, though. Good test. Brad Sorensen's looking to impress. Back to you guys. We'll be down here all night.
Thank you, Brooks. Kevin, let's get to our automatic car credit keys of the game.
Yeah, for Utah State, they want to play clean, meaning limit the number of penalties, no turnovers. They want to play clean on both sides of the football. And then on defense, they want to create takeaways. That'll be a key here all season long. Only 4 interceptions a year ago. They want to capitalize there. And for Southern Utah, they've got to limit the big play, especially in the Utah State running game. And then they, on the other side, want to establish the running game to take the pressure off of that Great West reigning player of the year, Brad Sorensen, the great quarterback for Southern Utah.
Utah State, as Brooks mentioned, new uniforms. Southern Utah, they had new uniforms last year. Back deep to return is C.J. Morgan, a transfer from Wyoming. Jacob Howder to kick things off. And this 2012 season is underway here in Logan, Utah. To about 2 yards deep in the end zone. Morgan coming out with it. Up to the 21. Now the new rule in college football, if he would have downed it, would have came out to the 25, but instead thought he could get something going, instead gets to the 22.
Well, that rule put into effect because of the concussion problems that both in the NFL, all the way from even Little League. They want to make sure that they try to limit the number of concussions. That's really what that play is meant for. But it also gives the kick coverage team an opportunity to pin you back deep. So interesting, this new rule.
Brad Sorensen, an All-American, a captain, Big Sky preseason offensive player of the year, projected as a draft choice for Southern Utah, leads him in essentially every career category thinkable. Going to start on the ground. This is something they really want to work at, is this running attack. The last 2 years, Coach Van doesn't think they've had the personnel up front to be a run-first team. This year they're going to try it. Brian Wilson gets the first carry, the senior out of San Diego. So Dylan Fox, he was a fullback last year. Now he's their starting center. Brackus and Far, two very good guards. Fatu Walla, a transfer from Utah. Also Griff McNabb, another Utah transfer. Targets here for Brad Sorensen. It's our Cache Valley Bank starting lineup for Southern Utah's offense. Walla goes in motion. Sorensen, his first pass of the game, has time, and it's dropped in and out of the arms of the intended receiver there. Incomplete.
Good coverage by that Aggie defense. Something that Coach Dave Aranda, the new defensive coordinator, is really going to emphasize is pressure up front and then stripping at the football.
Cache Valley Bank starting lineups defensively. Seatfelt is just a freshman, the nose guard. The linebackers, tall task replacing who they had here last year, Bobby Wagner. Tavares McMillan, watch for him. Also Jake Dowdy's got that wild hair. McCade Brady, some NFL scouts here, intrigued with what Brady does. And we'll see Will Davis as well. On third down, T-Birds look to pass, incomplete. And a 3-and-out for Southern Utah. Nice job by Utah State defensively.
You know, we talked to Coach Dave Aranda earlier in the week, and a new enthusiasm. He said this Aggie defense in the fall camp had 48 takeaways. Remarkable. And he said it reminded him a lot of his Hawaii team in 2010 that had so many takeaways. You can see the ball hawking right up front. Pressure up front off the edge this time. Connor Williams, and then good coverage in the secondary.
Third meeting all time between Southern Utah and Utah State. Aggies have never lost to the T-Birds. They are 2-0. Of course, every game has been here in Logan. Look at this effort by Brock Miller inside the 5-yard line. And that's where Coach Anderson's team will begin their first possession here in 2012. Fourth year, 15-22. Program certainly heading in the right direction now. This will be their final year in the WAC. Next year they'll be in the Mountain West Conference.
And as Brooks mentioned, new field turf, new uniform, new enthusiasm. It's amazing what a couple of years of building has done for this Utah State program.
So the sophomore Chucky Keaton gets the start. Many people remember what he did last year as a true freshman walking into Auburn and playing so well. He will start for the second consecutive season for Coach Anderson and this offense. might see Adam Kennedy later on. They might play both quarterbacks. They start on the ground. Was having to replace a couple of NFL guys as Turbin and Smith both drafted. So this will be Kerwin Williams' job, the senior out of Las Vegas. Cache Valley Bank starting lineups. It's a new offensive line with the Wimpy twins. We'll see both of them, but Kevin gets the start there at left tackle. Schultz a returner. Williams, Matt Austin, perhaps NFL potential. Chuck Jacobs also some NFL potential there. Again, they go to Williams. Wrapped up by the T-Birds. Third down coming up here for the Aggies. So back-to-back runs by Kerwin Williams.
Yeah, playing it safe, backed up. You know, on the punt, Utah State had two returners back, Austin and Jacobs, but both of them sort of ran away from the football, so they're pinned back deep.
Cache Valley Bank starting lineups. James Cowser getting the starts. Pretty good basketball player also with Davis. Zach Browning, the freshman, the guy in the middle. Tommy Collette, a returner from last year. Tyree Mills rocking the red fade. Keaton's first pass is caught. Has a first down, and he goes to his tight end, Kellen Bartlett, the senior out of Blue Springs, Missouri.
We talked to offensive coordinator Matt Wells, and he said you'll see 2 and 3 and sometimes 5 tight ends in this Aggie offense. Trying to get the mismatches on the linebackers. They feel like that's a great advantage for them in the passing game. And Chucky Keaton, right on target to Bartlett with his first throw of 2012.
Picking on Tyree Mills over the middle. Williams off that right side. Good pickup on first down. Looked like that had the potential to maybe go all the way. Kerwin Williams, so explosive.
No doubt about it. Last year, 81 rushes, 542 yards, almost a 7-yard average. 3 touchdowns. He does have breakaway speed.
Out of the backfield, also 7 receptions, 63 yards. A couple of terrific contests last year at Auburn. And in the bowl game, gets it again here. So heavy dose of Kerwin Williams. Another Aggie first down up the middle.
And now after 3 or 4 runs by Williams, here come the trips package. Several wide receivers in the game. And this may be where we see Matt Wells right off the bat in the opening possession, maybe taking one of those shots down the field, more so than what we saw last year out of the Aggie offense.
It's a multiple style offense. Spread, 2 backs, 1 back. As you mentioned, 3-4 tight ends. A lot of different looks from this offense. As you mentioned, trips near side. Keaton, plenty of time, and it's caught by Jacobs for a first down. Close to a first down, a yard and a half shy. Jacobs changed his number last year, 20 catches, 218 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He's a senior out of Richmond, California. This guy basically just showed up right before camp and is that vertical threat down the field. He's got blazing speed. And talking to a couple of the NFL scouts, they were curious to see how he would perform tonight. And he is on their radar.
And they would like to see him in the return game as well.
There is Keaton. Pardon me, Williams again.
Is number 35.
Steady dose of Kerwin Williams on this opening drive. Keaton 2 for 2. And again, remember, Keaton has that blazing speed and that multi-dimensional threat out of the quarterback position, almost like an extra running back in there as well. So, I mean, it is awfully difficult when you spread them out like this to defend all across the field.
Keaton in 8 starts ran for 293 yards and also 4 rushing touchdowns. So certainly a weapon. He keeps it here. Topped by Zach Browning, also Flint.
Number 36.
So both linebackers able to get a shot on him.
And he comes right out of the ball game. I don't know if he's got an equipment problem or the helmet came off.
And that's another new rule is when the helmet comes off, you have to leave the ball game for at least a play.
And if you recall last year, the number of helmets popping off a year
ago, epidemic.
It was unbelievable.
The last couple seasons, it just seems like chin straps not all the way fastened. So Kennedy gets it to Webb, gets a block up to about the 46-yard line. 3rd and 5 coming up for Utah State. Adam Kennedy did a marvelous job coming in when Pete got injured against Hawaii. Led them on that nice winning streak. Now he goes out as Chucky's helmet seems to be fashioned together okay, but well, he certainly did a super job. Speaking of Adam Kennedy in a backup role last year.
No question. And into the bowl game. Even played well in the bowl game. And, tight battle all the way through fall camp.
Utah State very tight-lipped about who was going to start tonight.
No question. We didn't know until Chucky came out.
Keaton's pass is caught for a first down.
Boy,
on target so far is Chucky Keaton in this offense. Travis Reynolds, the junior, out of Florida with the reception.
I think one of the things you're seeing already with Chucky Keaton, better mechanics and a lot more zip on the football. That one rifled right in there to Reynolds, picking up the first down and keeping the drive alive.
He's also bulked up a little bit more, hit the weight room. Of course, last year just a true freshman, kind of that slight build. A lot more muscle this season. Has time, deep over the middle, cut! Jacobs, touchdown Aggies!
Just like that, as we said, Matt Wells wants to take a shot down the field, a two-deep zone. Jacobs splitting the defenders, and right on the money from Chucky Keaton. 50 yards in the air, down the middle of the field, touchdown, Chuck Jacobs. Look at that, right splitting over the top of the linebackers could not cover Jacobs down the field, in between the safeties with that spread formation. Jacobs out of the slot formation, right down the middle, touchdown Aggies. Great offensive start, a 90-plus yard drive to open the season.
Browning, the freshman, filling in for Chad Hansen, who sustained an injury in the beginning of the spring ball. Got toasted on that one as Keaton to Jacobs. And the Aggies lead 7-0 over Southern Utah. 8:51 left, first quarter. On offense for Utah State, making it look easy.
Yeah, nice job of mixing the run and pass. Keaton 3 for 3, Kennedy 1 for 1. When Keaton had to step out with the helmet popping off. And Kerwin Williams, some good runs mixed in. So a nice job of play calling. Matt Wells, his first time as an offensive coordinator. Excellent play calling on that opening series.
And it was a pretty good offense last year. Total offense, they were program best, 5,945 yards. Rushing yards, 3,675 points, 437, and touchdown 60. All best in program history. So a lot left here for Coach Wells to work with, and he kind of proved it on that opening drive. But as a new coordinator, that's got to make you feel great.
No question.
The touchdown.
No question about it. And then he lived up to what he told us earlier in the week, that he wanted to throw it down the field a little bit more. Now, we haven't targeted Matt Austin yet, so it'll be interesting to see how that works.
Salt Lake Express scoring drive, 11 plays, 97 yards, nearly 5 minutes of clock. And it was Keaton to Jacobs. Second possession here for Southern Utah. Hannah Brown, who played well down the stretch last year, filling in for Austin Menifee and Decker Alexander. They expect big things from Hannah Brown. He's a local product at a Cypress High School, Magna, Utah. He played in 9 games but had 2 starts. Last year, 27 carries, 118 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Really played well against UC Davis. And that's, I think, what kind of convinced the coaching staff that, hey, this is our guy, and I think we'll be okay at running back for next season. Movement on the right tackle. The 2 tackles, kind of a storyline here because they're new for Southern Utah. That was Peterson, Russell Peterson, 6'4", 319 junior out of Manti, and the other tackle is Cody Burgess, 6'6", 319 junior from Panaca, Nevada. Coach Ed Lamb has done a marvelous job. Marvelous. He inherited a team that went 0-19, and in 2010, they won the conference championship in the Great West, the first conference championship in 17 years for Southern Utah. This program going the right direction, and Sorensen's pass a little bit high, incomplete. Third down coming up.
Followed that up a year ago with another 6-5 winning record. So a lot of great expectations for the Southern Utah program, especially as they're moving into the Big Sky Conference. Sorensen, make no mistake, he's the guy that runs the boat.
Does he look nervous to you a little bit?
He got a little bit under that throw and threw it high. Now, Steve Clark, the offensive coordinator, told us before the game that he wants to keep him healthy, especially against Utah State this week and Cal next week leading into the Big Sky Conference. So he's going to get the ball out early, and that may lead to some overthrows and some, he just doesn't want to turn the ball over, and he wants to keep him upright and healthy.
Pressure coming. Fatu Moala making the adjustment, but can't make the catch on a 3rd and 10. And so Southern Utah, for the second time, they go 3 and out, and will have to punt the football away.
Really interested to see this Aggie secondary this season. This time Nevin Lawson step for step with Moala, right there with him. Just a little simple fade route down the sideline, timing route. Lawson right there. I'm curious to watch this secondary because Dave Aranda told us this is a group that's going to make some plays this fall.
Brock Miller's last punt was 72 yards. This one will be fielded at the 25. And this is Jacobs. Look at him go up the middle to the 44. A nice return by Utah State. They'll have another great drive start, as their last one they were pinned inside the 5. This time going to start in T-Bird territory. What a return by Jacobs.
You mentioned it. NFL scouts love this young man in the kicking game. You can see why. Caught the ball in his hands, didn't let it get into his body, and then right up the field, set up his blocks well, and burst of speed. Of course, he's the touchdown maker in the opening possession for the Aggies, so an excellent start to the 2012 season for that young man, Chuck Jacobs.
Keaton back in. Flawless drive. They went something like 97 yards. Williams bottled up inside. Nowhere for him to go. Kauser, Larson, Meyer, and Jeff Tukuafu playing that full end, all combining on the stop of Williams.
Browning, also that freshman that you mentioned, filling in for Hanson, coming up to fill in and make the tackle as well. Holding Kerwin Williams to no gain. So we've seen a couple of different looks out of the Aggie running game. The sweep fly, or the fly sweep I should say, the read off of the spread.
Again, wide open. I believe this is Bruce Natson, 18, 5'7", 145 freshman out of Oakland Park, Florida. Changed his number right before, I believe this week, I think, is when he changed his number, but they love him. He makes a ton of plays, made a ton of plays in camp. Just a freshman, very slight build, but brings a lot of energy.
No question about it, and that's 4 different receivers now that Keaton has targeted in the first 2 possessions, and that's not even hitting his main target yet. Matt Austin on the outside, on the upper side of the screen here in this formation.
Keaton looking to him. He's going to fire to Austin, and it's caught for a touchdown. Right on cue, Keaton to Austin.
Wow. What a throw. Chucky Keaton showing me something here. They really didn't unleash him a year ago. Everything underneath, everything short. But Matt Wells told us on Wednesday, or on Tuesday, I guess it was, that we're going to take shots down the field, especially this young man. He's going to get 10 targets each game. And a lot of those are going to be down the field, uses his hands beautifully to haul that pass in. And Keaton, wow, what a start. Right on the button for Utah State.
Looks sharp, Matt Austin beating Miles Killebrew, another freshman from Southern Utah. And the extra point is good. So 2 drives for Utah State, 2 touchdowns. They lead the T-Birds by a score of 14-0. 6:15 left, first quarter. Bird has shown up, a nice crowd on him. The 2012 kickoff, as we've kind of mentioned, a lot of excitement surrounding Cache Valley and Utah State. All the improvements that they've made, both physically with the new turf and the uniforms, going to the conference, but also they're picked 2nd in the WAC in their final season in the Western Athletic Conference.
Right behind La Tech.
Out of bounds, so this will be a good drive start here for Southern Utah. They need it after a couple back-to-back 3-and-outs. Selleck Express scoring drive, this time just 3 plays, 45 yards. Keaton to the 35-yard pass to Matt Austin. So they've had a long field able to score, a short field, no problem, but they were set up nicely by that Chuck Jacobs punt return.
Absolutely, excellent job in the kicking game. And a terrific play. The first target of the season to that young man, Matt Austin. Great speed. Granted, his 6th year of eligibility by the NCAA. Really excited to be back for 1 more year. And he is, more than anybody, maybe excited for Matt Wells' new offense because he wants to get down the field and get chances to the end zone like that one right there.
Many people think the offense last year a little too conservative. Here's Henry Brown, his second rushing attempt. Take up about 3 yards on first down. This is something that Southern Utah really wants to work on, is that running game. They want that to be their identity. They've been pass happy the last couple of years, and why not when you got the caliber of Brad Sorensen? But they feel like to be successful in the Big Sky Conference, going to have to be more balanced this year. They feel like they got the horses up front to kind of push some people around. They just haven't had that in years past. Total yards right now being dominated by Utah State. I formation again. This is Brown. Picks up a couple, just shy of the 40-yard line. Third down coming up.
Been tough in the opening 2 possessions for Southern Utah. Been in 3rd and long each possession. Seafelt, the big freshman, starting nose guard, 6'2", 299, out of Sun City, Arizona.
Should see a lot of defensive linemen for Utah State as this game progresses. Neighbors yet to convert on the 3rd down.
Yeah, one of the staples of Gary Anderson defense is a lot of rotation up front.
Sorensen's pass incomplete, looking to go to Pedersen, well covered by Utah State. Will Davis, young man from Spokane, tremendous strides since last season. Again, NFL scouts kind of here for him as well. Almost picks that one off. He wasn't real impressed with Sorensen. He says, I go up against a guy like that every day in practice, and Adam Kennedy.
He's lucky he didn't get a penalty there, kicking the football after the play, but he's really one of the ball-hawking playmakers on this Utah State defense. Came up with 8 or 9 interceptions in the fall camp.
Miller, that was dangerously close to being a block. Jacob says, get away from it, and this is another fantastic effort by Miller. Another one inside the 5. Penalty marker came out late.
I'm not sure what the call's going to be, but again, Utah State backed up inside the 5. The first time they went 97 yards for a touchdown.
So thank you to our referee, Robert Cameron. Aggies on top, 14-0. They get the ball back again. Well, they scored 14-0, scored on their previous 2 possessions. See what they can do. Possession number 3, Chucky Keaton, fantastic, 6 for 6, 117 yards and 2 touchdowns. This is Williams just caught in the backfield again. Nice job by that T-Bird defense.
That's Ricky Clark, 6'2", 225-pound senior out of Hayward, California. Got him around the ankles. Last time the Aggies backed up at this position, went 97 yards for an opening touchdown to start this season. Wouldn't that be something? 2 drives of 95 plus to start a season. Southern Utah has other ideas here.
Sanderson, who went in motion, popped right at the goal line, nowhere to go. Nice job by James Kauser, the freshman at a Davis High School, back from his mission. He's done a real nice job in camp. Makes a stick that time. So 3rd down coming up for Utah State.
Exactly what Southern Utah needs right here to get a stop and get field position. Excellent read by Kauser, knifing through. Excellent form of the tackle as well to get Williams to the turf.
Kauser 6'4", 244. And a Fruit Heights Utah going to keep it on the ground. And first down and much more. Past the 20. Williams, he is a weapon out there.
Wow, sort of a conservative call, but Williams makes it work. He did an excellent job of following his blockers through the hole and then made a play by making someone miss and breaking it to the outside for the first down. It's a big play for the Aggie offense, getting out of trouble.
It was a 3rd and 11. They decided to keep it on the ground. Good second effort that time by Williams. Utah State, another 3rd down conversion, another first down.
And now out of the pistol formation, so various positions of formations for this Aggie offense.
Kauser unable to make the tackle. Ball came out late. I believe Kerwin was down, but he gets the ball back, so no harm anyhow. And now Utah State really working on that running game.
And look at the tempo, right back at the line of scrimmage. They want to attack. When they get big chunks of yardage, they want to get right back up at the line of scrimmage and not let that defense get set.
Oh, big stick again coming up. This is Corey Jones, 6'4", 294 sophomore out of Texas. Or pardon me, that was Brad Meyer, the junior from Boise. At a Capital High School, they have high hopes from him. Played in 9 games last season.
A pancake of a tackle that time on Williams. And now Joe Hill looks like he gets his first action in the Aggie backfield.
3rd and 2 for Utah State. Able to ran for it last time. Here's Keaton, steps up, has the first down, and slides down. Wise move by Chucky Keaton. Accomplished what he needed to do and then got down.
What a weapon. Moves, speed, vision, and an improved arm. Look at the vision, down the field, waited, saw the lane open, and then watch him move right there. Broken ankle, and then he actually slid where he may have been able to continue down the field, but, you know, live to play another day.
I think it's a wise decision. Big ball. Austin with the catch. Working on Namari Flentroy, the linebacker.
Boy, he had one-on-one coverage out there. Keaton recognized it. Austin, big body receiver, excellent hands. We saw the touchdown catch in his hands, and this one up at its highest point too. Getting it in the hands, good for the first down completion. And Keaton still perfect in the throwing game here in the first quarter.
It's actually against Mills, the sophomore, number 6. Marching down the field again. So Hill, the sophomore out of Fullerton, California, last year, 7 carries, 24 yards, and a touchdown. Played in 7 games. Now, here in the opener, and quickly, here comes Utah State. Penalty marker's down, but it's a touchdown for Utah State. Joe Hill on back-to-back carries.
Right back to the attack after the big chunk of yardage, and I don't think Southern Utah got a player off the field. I think there's 12 men on the field against Southern Utah. That quick up-tempo offense striking. Utah State will decline this. It's exactly what it is. 12 men on the field. Touchdown, Joe Hill, and a 98-yard drive here for Utah State. Unbelievable start to the 2012 season for this Utah State offense under new offensive coordinator Matt Wells. Everything working right now for that Utah State offense and on defense. 3 and outs.
Go back to that 3rd and 11, backed up deep in their own end, and Williams, that second effort, extends the drive, and Hill finishes the thing on a 27-yard touchdown score. Utah State has now rushed for 102 yards, and we're still in the first quarter with about a minute left.
Keaton recognized that Southern Utah had 12 players on the field, got the snap knowing he was going to get the first down on penalty, but because of the up-tempo practice that the Utah State Aggies offense has implemented this fall, they were set and ready. Open seam for Joe Hill. So great news for the Aggies, identifying a couple of new running backs as well after losing Robert Turbin to the Seattle Seahawks, Michael Smith to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Williams, and now Joe Hill. 2 good-looking young running backs here for Utah State. Well, we've seen Kerwin Williams for some time. He's a senior. But Joe Hill making a stamp, his impression early here in 2012.
So it's all rolling. It's all good here for Utah State. Still 1:01 left in this opening quarter.
Southern Utah a little bit shell-shocked right now on both sides of the football. Now wondering, can we compete here against this upgraded program in Cache Valley from Utah State University?
Brock Warren, the walk-on out of Skyview, kicking it off. It's been out of the first couple of times. T-Bird's going to return it. Going to come up to the 25. Upended to about the 24. And so Morgan again, Wyoming transfer, want to get him the ball in any way possible, thinks he can make something happen.
Morgan had to make a game-saving tackle there.
Salt Lake Express scoring drive, 9 plays, 98 yards, 344. And it was Hill from 27 yards out.
So Utah State 3 drives, 2 of those inside their own 5-yard line. Wow, just amazing execution offensively. Only one penalty. We talked about playing clean on both sides of the football. The only penalty, the kick out of bounds, which got Warren his opportunity to kick off here, who ended up making the tackle, really the touchdown saving tackle there on the kickoff return.
Sorensen so far 0 for 5, yet to complete a ball. They stay on the ground. This is Wilson. There is just no room there. Utah State able to plug it.
Did I say it right? Practiced it for 5 minutes before the game.
It was Lasike with the total yards, you see. Boy, Southern Utah only mustering 2 yards on that last possession.
240 to 12. Total domination here in the first quarter for Utah State on both sides of the football.
Big thing is they just need to get a first down right now. They've been competitive, speaking of Southern Utah, against FBS programs. Everybody remembers the one last year when they beat UNLV handily. But they had 3 pick sixes. The offense didn't play all that great, and Sorensen had just kind of a so-so game. But it was that defense with those 3 touchdowns. So we'll see. They've got some work to do against Utah State. That is the end of one, and the Aggies dominating so far here at home, leading Southern Utah 21-0. Back with the second quarter after this.